Hi children, so welcome back. Let's go ahead with 11th unit. That's nothing but the play If I Were You, written by Douglas James. Whereas I have already introduced two of the characters. One is Gerard, another one is Intruder. Gerard was a playwright who works for the plays to be written by him and composed by him. Sometimes he also even serves the costumes for the plays also. And when it comes to the intruder, he was a criminal, he was a murderer. So the main plot of the story was the intruder was wanting the identity of Gerard to be taken away from him. So intruder was wanting to enjoy the identity of Gerard by killing Gerard. So as we have already come to know that how had he entered in and what was the reaction of Gerard also. To our surprise, Gerard did not react so great as we call it as. He was so casual and very pleasantly he questioned him that you are Mr. Now let's continue. Please take out your textbooks and also have your running notes along children. Page number 39. Then as he was asked, Intruder was asked by Gerard that you are Mr. Then Intruder started saying that I'm glad you are pleased to see me. I don't think you will be pleased for long. Put those paws up. Then Gerard says this is all very melodramatic, not very original. Perhaps, but Intruder, trying to be calm, nonchalant is your word, I think. Thanks a lot. You will soon stop being smart. I'll make you crawl. I want to know a few things. See. So see the way the conversation started here. As Gerard was wanting to let him know who the one had entered in, then as soon as he started inquiring, Intruder did not answer and he reacted the way Gerard received him. Oh, I really I feel so happy that you have received me with a pleasant voice. So pleased to see me maybe. But this reaction won't be retaining because I am going to be very shrewd and rude to you. Then as soon as he heard that melodramatic, the word, exaggeration. So why are you using all big words, like imagery words? What's wrong with you? Then he says that trying to be calm, I'm just trying to let you be calm. And nonchalant is your word, I think. You will soon stop being smart. Then Intruder says that I know that you are trying to be smart, but I know what to do to let you be stopped showing your smartness because very soon I'm going to let you crawl on the floor. In the sense, I'm going to let you plead me to save your life. Because he was having a revolver in his hands, never you forget that. Then, thing you like, I know all the answers. But before we begin, I should like to change my position. You may be comfortable, but I am not. So you try to understand and try to read each one of the dialogues of Gerard, especially children. You will understand because tomorrow if at all you see a question to write the character sketch of Gerard, then you should have all these things in your mind. The way he is reacting, he is not overreacting. He is not reacting so wild also, though he could see a person intruding into the house, taking a revolver in his hand, being so violent in fact. But he says that, come on, anyhow you are ready to talk to me, but I'm not convenient. I'm not feeling comfortable to talk to you this way. So please allow me to sit comfortably and talk to you. Then Intruder says that fine, sit down there and no funny business. Motions to a chair and seats himself on the divan by the bag. Now then we will have a nice talk about yourself. Then he said that fine, please sit down. Then he gestures because it's a drama, children, always you remember. He gestures, he shows the seat where Gerard had to sit and Intruder sat on the divan with the bag next to the bag because we learned already that Gerard was packing his bag, keeping on the divan. So he just sat next to the bag. Then come on, tell me something about you. Then Gerard started saying, at last sympathetic audience, at last a sympathetic audience. So he's calling, like sarcastically he's calling because he belonging to the fraternity of dramatists. So he would like to present anything, in front of the audience only. So now he is just calling it funnily, I'm going to talk about me in front of the sympathetic audience who is going to feel sorry about it. I'll tell you the story of my life, how as a child I was stolen by the gypsies, and why at the age of 32 I find myself in my lonely Essex cottage house. So he started telling his story. Like, we will need to learn that, when he was a young child, he was being stolen by the gypsies. Gypsies, it's a nomad, they're nomad kind of nomads, you all know it. No? It's one of the races. Usually you call them Thanda and all. So they belong to one particular race there. So those gypsies, they have stolen him and they kept him, and that's the reason why he was not brought up correctly, and at the age of 32 now, that's how he was all alone, being unmarried. He is in that particular cottage and he was just about to continue, but he was not allowed. Keep it to yourself and just answer my questions. You live here alone? Well, do you? I'm sorry, I thought you were telling me, not asking me. A question of inflection, your voice is unfamiliar. So inflection, another word, children. Inflection is, as I said, contextually here the word does mean that tone of pitch. Asking and telling, two are different, right? Telling is when somebody asks us to tell something, then we will tell. Asking is when you want some information or when you want a reply from somebody, then you will ask. So that's what Gerard was saying, that I thought you are just asking me something to tell, but I did not understand that you are telling me to not to talk more. Do you live here all alone? And if I don't answer, then Gerard asked him, if I don't answer, what would you do? You have got enough sense not to want to get hurt. Then intruder also, in the same manner, he responded, you know what am I going to do? You are at least that smart. Because you don't want to get hurt. In the sense, I will definitely hurt you. I will cause you harm. I think good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the mere desire to do so. What do you think? So he said that yes, of course, I have minimum sense to not to let me be hurt. Never mind my name. I like yours better. So again he made another trial. Gerard made another trial asking that, what do you think, Mr. Again he mentioned a blank, thinking that at least now the intruder will fill up the blank. But he says that no, just leave my name, but I find your name interesting. Rather telling my name, I find your name interesting. Mr. Gerard, what are your Christian names, like surnames, surname, Christian name is nothing but. Then he says that Vincent Charles. So we see Vincent Charles. We see Gerard. Vincent Charles. Do you run a car? No. That's a lie. You are not dealing with a fool. I'm as smart as you and smarter. And I know you run a car. Better be careful, wise guy. Are you an American? Or is that merely a clever imitation? Listen, this gun is no toy. I can hurt you without killing you and still get my answers. So in this particular part, intruder was asking him that whether he owns a car. And as soon as he heard that question, immediately Gerard said that no, to test what sort of a person was intruder, whether was smart enough or not. Then immediately intruder said that, come on, always remember that you are talking to a smart person, that is the intruder, not to a fool. I know that you own a car. Of course, if you put it like that, I will be glad to assist you. I do possess a car and it is in the garage round the corner. Then he had to accept that yes, he had a car and it's already parked in the parking area. That's better. Do people often come out there? Very rarely. Surprisingly, few people take the trouble to visit me. There is a baker, greengrocer, of course, and there is a milkman. Quite charming, but no one so interesting as yourself. Then again, another sarcasm here. He says that when intruder questioned him that who are all the people visit your house often. Because we all need to understand, children, why the intruder particularly asking all these questions. Because he had the vicious plan to take the identity. He would like to become Gerard by killing Gerard. That is his plan. So he needs to know, more about Gerard so that he can act like Gerard further. Then who are all the people visiting also, he inquired. So he said that no, very few people. Baker, he comes. Milkman and greengrocer. So to give vegetables and fruits, he comes. And milkman will come and baker. Not like you, who is very smart. I happen to know that you never see tradespeople. Then he before he was coming to Gerard, he also inquired about Gerard. He also made enough inquiry, to let him know more information about Gerard. So he was just saying that, yeah, I already could come to know that you won't be meeting the tradespeople. Tradespeople are the business people, the merchants, You seem to have taken considerable amount of trouble since you know so much about me. Won't you say something about yourself? You have been so modest. So Gerard again saying, oh, I understood that you might have already made a lot of inquiry to gather a lot of information about my personal life. That's fine. Then why don't you tell me something about yourself? You are being so modest. In the sense, you are being so simple, modest. You don't want to reveal anything about your identity. And intruder said that, I could tell you plenty. You think you are smart, but I am the top of the class around here. I have got brains and I use them. That's why I have got where I have. So, he could understand why again and again Gerard is insisting to let him say his name and give some information about him. He says that, come on, don't you think that I do have my own brains? I have lot of things, to tell about myself, but I don't want to, because I know why am I here, as I have my brains to work. And where precisely have you got? It did not require a great brain to break into my little cottage. When you know why I have broken into your little cottage, you will be surprised, and it won't be a pleasant surprise. With you figuring so largely in it, that is understandable. By the way, what particular line of crime do you embrace? Or aren't you a specialist? Yes. Then as soon as the intruder started giving the answer saying that I have got my own brains and I know why am I here, then Gerard said that, come on, to enter into my such a simple cottage, you need not really carry a revolver and just enter into the house. You can simply even take an entry also. But I understood the way you came into my house, you might have committed some mistake. So what is the mistake you committed? What is the offense you have committed? I would like to know. My specialty is jewel robbery. Yes, intruder has started saying something. My specialty. I'm a very specialist, in robbing the jewel. So I'm a great jewel robber. Your car will do me a treat. It's certainly a dandy bus. So I'm going to take help of your car because it's going to be a dandy bus. Dandy bus is nothing but we have already come to know about the word, children. Dandy bus, we have seen informal expression for a fashionable vehicle. So he is just calling it as a fashionable vehicle, like what Gerard has his car. Then he said that, I'm afraid jewels are few and far between in the wilds of Essex. And then said, oh, so have you come here to steal and rob my jewel? I'm only a male person and I'm all alone staying. I don't think that you will get good quantity of jewel to rob here. If at all you have come here for burglary, it's of no use because I don't have any jewel at my place. Essex is his cottage name. Essex. Essex. So are the cops? I can retire here nicely for a little while. Then he says that, no, I'm here for the cops. Cops are the policemen. I can retire here nicely for a little while. He says that, retire in the sense I can take rest for a while. Then Gerard, you mean to live with me? Then Gerard is surprised. He wondered. He expressed saying that, you mean to live with me? A trifle sudden, isn't? You have not been invited. Come on, you are an uninvited guest to my house. And how could you say that you want to live with me in my cottage? The two to keep away the police, to hide yourself in my cottage. Oh my God. You won't be here long. So now intruder starts saying his plan. You won't be here long. So I did not trouble to ask you. Why do I need to take your permission, dear? Dear Gerard, because you're not going to be here so long. What do you mean? So Gerard asked, what do you mean? It's my house. How could you say that I'm not going to be here for so long? Of course it is my house. I need to be here. This is your big surprise. I'm going to kill you. Yes, he has revealed the main plot, the main reason, what made him to come to Gerard, please. He said that, yes, you're not going to live for long in your cottage because I'm going to kill you. And this is a big surprise for you. Gerard, a little harsh, Isn't it? A little harsh. Oh my God, is it not so cruel? Aren't you sounding to be so cruel? How could you say that to me? This is my house, and how could you all of a sudden tell me that you're going to kill me? Then with a heavy sarcasm, with a lot of irony in his voice, intruder says that, yeah, I'll be sorry to do it. I have taken a fancy to you, but it's just got to be done. I'm sorry because I have no other go, as I need your identity to live my life, rest of my life happily. So I can't do anything. I'm helpless. I'm sorry. Then Gerard said, why? Add murder to your other crimes. It's a grave step you are taking. Come on, already you have told me that you are a jewel robber. Again, you would like to add on another offense of killing somebody also? Come on, it's a grave in the sense it's a much more bigger offense you are going to commit. I'm not taking it fun. I have been haunted long enough. I'm wanted for murder already, and they can't hang me twice. So, intruder said that, come on, you knew me only as a jewel robber, but I already murdered somebody before. So already the police cops are behind me to catch me. Only to run away from them, I am going to take your identity by killing you to live my rest of the life happily. So no police can, hang me twice. If I murder one person or murder 10 persons also, they are going to hang me. So if I kill you and if I'm caught also, I need not really worry about it. Then Gerard says that you are planning a gratuitous double. So to speak, admitted you have nothing to lose, but what have you to gain? Gratuitous, the word means, children, this action which is done without having any good reason. So wrong act. In simple words, we can say that wrong act. So Gerard said that, come on, it's going to be a wrong act as you are going to kill me. Fine, when you say that, you're not going to lose anything by killing me, because any police or any law cannot hang you twice, you told me. Then what are you going to gain by killing me? How are you going to be benefited by killing me? How can you call this act as profitable act when I'm calling this as a gratuitous act? This act has no good reason. Then the intruder gives the explanation. I have got freedom to gain. So what am I going to be benefited with? That is freedom. Till now, till this particular moment, I was running from the police. I was running away, hiding here and there, and I always have insecurity that one particular time I will be caught by the police. If I kill you, I can take your identity and I can live my rest of the life naming myself as Gerard. So no police would come to me to catch me anymore because I am Mr. Gerard. As myself, I am a poor hunted rat. As Vincent Charles Gerard, I am free to go places and do nothing. That's what he said. In most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killing long enough to be frustrated. You are much luckier. So Gerard, as soon as he heard him talking this, he said that, come on, as usual in most of the dramas, because he's a drama writer, we should never forget that he says that whenever I come across any of the dramas, the villains are, they speak so much, they talk so much before committing the offense, because they have the foolish side also. Then intruder says that I'm okay, I have got a reason for everything. I'm going to be Vincent Charles Gerard. See, I have got to know what he talks like. Now I know the posh stuff comes easy. This is Mr. V.C. Gerard speaking, and that's not all. Now take a look at me. You're not particularly decorative. So then intruder say that now you need to understand that I have already observed your even attitude, your behavior, your body language also, and your gestures. So now I'm ready. I'm ready enough to take your complete identity by naming myself as Vincent, like V.C. Gerard speaking. He just calls himself as V.C. Gerard. No, well, that goes for you too. I have only got to wear specs and I will be enough like you to get away with it. So as soon as Gerard looked at intruder, he said that, you are not looking exactly like how I am looking. Then I said, no worry. If at all I keep only the specs, the only difference between you and I is you have specs and I don't have specs. If I keep just the specs, I look exactly like you. Don't take any worry. You need not worry. So that is extremely interesting, Gerard. Without any fear, one thing you will all need to understand. As I said, please give a glance at all the dialogues uttered by Gerard character here. So here, though he was known about the vicious plan completely of the intruder, there is no reaction and overreaction from Gerard. He says that, "Hey, that's extremely interesting, but you seem to miss the point of my remark. I said you were luckier than most melodramatic villains. It was not a tribute to your intelligence. You won't kill me for a very good reason." Then Gerard said something. "As I said, many of the villains would talk so much before they commit a mistake or an offense. But here I did not mean to praise your intelligence, but I am telling you the fact that you are not going to kill me." So that's what you think. So Intruder says, "Oh, do you think that I can't kill you and I won't be killing you? You will let me go, and thank God you did not shoot sooner." So Gerard said that, "Yes, of course you are not going to kill me, and moreover, you would allow me to go away. And thank God that you did not just shoot me soon. You have given me enough chance to speak and let you understand the situation." Then Intruder says, "Come on, what's on your mind? Better be quick, this conversation bores me." So Intruder, he started thinking. He has become much more curious to know about what are all the thoughts were lingering in the mind of Gerard. He said, "Come on, tell me what's in your mind, because a conversation is boring." "Your idea is to elude the police by killing me and taking on my identity?" So Gerard repeated his idea. "So you're planning to escape from the police? And to escape from the police, you would like to take my identity by killing me. Is that your plan?" "Yes, of course, I like it. But are you sure it's going to help you?" So again Gerard asked, Are you sure it's going to help you? "Now listen here, I have got this all planned. I did a job town. Things went wrong and I killed a cop. Since then I have done nothing but dodge. Dodge is to keep himself avoiding meeting many of the people." So he said that, "Come on, I have no other go because I did many of the jobs before, but as I was caught." So we need to understand that he had done all the wrong acts, due to which he was caught by the police, and I'm running. So now I have no other alternate but only killing you and taking your identity. Then Gerard says that, "And this is where dodging has brought you. Oh, by avoiding the people, avoiding the policemen, you have come to my cottage. It brought me to Aylesbury. That's where I saw you in the car. Two other people saw you and started to talk. I listened. It looks like you are a bit queer, kind of a mystery man." So this is what he says, that yes, I have come here, and as I was watching you, and when I was watching you, I could see you sitting in a car, and two other people were talking about you. As they were talking about you, I found that you are an interesting person who is also very mysterious. That's how I have selected you." So children, we shall continue and conclude maybe the next session. So this is in the second module. We could come to know about the very interesting conversation between Gerard and the Intruder. So here in this module, Intruder made his plot very clear by telling Gerard. But one thing is very appreciable here is the way Gerard reacted. And Gerard challenged Intruder, saying that you would not kill me and rather you would allow me to let me go. Which was really, made the Intruder to be in puzzlesome status. Why would I do like that? Because my intention is to kill you and take your identity. Then why would I leave you? Then what would be the explanation given by Gerard? We shall see in the next module. So please do work out on the worksheet what I serve you, children. Isn't it so interesting? So let's keep waiting for the suspense to be revealed in the next module. So till then, see you all. Goodbye. This is Vijaya signing off.